What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're going to be taking a look at Portal Knights. Now, fun fact, because I've actually been getting tons and tons of requests to actually do a full-on Let's Play series of this game. I already did do a full-on Let's Play series of this game. Granted, it was an older version, and since then they've added pets and all sorts of new set gear and stuff like that, and I've always kept a close eye on this game. But now we're taking a look at it because it's going to be launching on the consoles on the 19th, and apparently as well, I would have to double check. I'll have some text on the screen in case I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this game is actually going to be coming onto the Nintendo Switch, which means that you can be playing Portal Knights on the go, which is absolutely awesome. So you can pick male or female, and then you can pick the classes. The warrior, very self-explanatory, you know, you're just going to be going in and kicking butt. Archery, generally, I'm pretty sure this is actually the strongest class in the game, or at least it was back in the previous versions when I was playing it, because using magic, though beautiful, actually dealt with more of an area of effect control, while the ranger ended up being raw DPS and raw damage, and the warrior ended up being the character that just ran in and beat everything up. Now, the game also totes having both first-person and third-person perspective for some of the combat. So for today, we're just going to be playing as the generic warrior. You can customize your character quite a bit. You know, kind of like this is all kind of new to me, is what I'm saying, because in the older versions, they didn't have nearly as much customization. Let's just choose the weird Elvis hair, and I guess he is a warrior, so he does need to have, oh yes, a beautiful mustache. And then I guess this is just the color of his hairs as well. So let's just take the one that I've got right now, and let's go to the next area. No, I want to go to more customization. There we go. We can choose his ears. Thank goodness we can choose his ears, because if we weren't able to choose, there we go, big dopey ones. Yeah, and we can change the color of his ears. Oh, that's just the color of him. Pitch white like a ghost, because that's what I am in real life. Oh, yes, angry eyes. Man, they've really added a lot more to the character customization. I like it a lot there. Nice brows, dude. Nice brows. That's a great way to compliment a friend, is to just say, dude, your eyebrows, they look killer. We can't see his mouth just because it's under the beautiful mustache, but that's okay. Well, we'll take the second one then, because that just sounds like the most okay. Whoop, I guess I gotta type stuff. Let's call him Bob. Bob is like the generic name that I always go for. And I want to also point out that you can play this game online with your friends, as well as, I forget if it actually had local split screen. I don't think it does, but you can play with your friends. You can set it so that you can play with anybody, or just set it to being with nobody. And the interesting thing is that your character file is actually separated from your world file. So you can join somebody's world with your character, get them all beefed up, and then go into your world where you're back at the beginning of the game. And they actually offer quite a few character slots as well. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. Universe 1, who cares? Let's go for the large size, because back when I was playing this game, you didn't have an option. Most of the islands were just very, very small. For hardcore explorers, requires a powerful system. Use at your own risk. Whoa, thanks for the warning. It's noted. So we're gonna kind of skip over the main story elements right there. That was kind of introducing the universe and why it's all broken apart and stuff like that. The game, again, since the version that I played anyways, it has hard mode, bosses, and stuff like that. It's got a lot to it, man. While you can actually just play this game from start to finish and then just be done with it, they also do have set gear and stuff like that that you can end up farming for quite a long time. Very intensive on the resource gathering as well, especially if you're trying to customize your house to being something very impressive and big. Ah, yes! The world is my oyster. I thought I needed a powerful computer. I'm running this at 60 frames, no problem. I do have a powerful computer. I have to, it's my job. Okay, so move around like an idiot and jump up and down. Task complete. They actually have improved upon the tutorial quite a bit. I'm surprised. Move around with the joystick, open the backpack pressing Y, and put on minor healing potions. We also, because I bought the game before it launched, we have a bunch of Pioneer stuff, and then apparently, right now, if you buy this game right now, folks, you're going to have access to a whole bunch of the downloadable content that's going to be coming out at the launch version. That's going to, when the game launches, be a separate price. So if you buy the game right now, links are in the description, you can get all of that early, which is going to end up coming with like golden pets or something. I don't really know. What do they want us to do with this? They want to just put it on a hotbar or something? I also really want to put this on our character. Where is it? Where is the thing? Cape. That's what it's under. Aha! That other random thing as well. This banner, that's just furniture, so it's just to look cool. Now, we'll get into all of this stuff in a little bit here, but this is the crafting system, and oh man, does it get complicated. And then here's the map that we deal with. So the area that we're at is right here, and then we have to kind of find the exit portals to go to the next area, and then eventually they end up splitting off into different areas as well. And the thing that's really cool is you can always check the island details, and you can see all of the enemy types. Again, resource gathering is key in this game, so you can see all the enemy types, and you can see all the different plants, and you can see all the different rocks and materials and stuff like that, which is fantastic, because it allows the player to just know immediately, does this island have the resources that we need? Because later in the game, this game looks a lot more beautiful than it used to. Later in the game, that's what it's all about. Press right joystick 3. Now we can actually play this game in first person. We actually got our nice little controller, or sword hanging out and everything like that. Really, really cool that they actually let you play both in a third and first person perspective. And typical of most voxel games nowadays, you can actually just walk up a hill instead of having to jump up them like Uggle's Minecraft. Attack an enemy with your weapon. Where is an enemy that I can attack with my weapon? There's a bunch of slimes down here. My sensitivity is a little bit crazy, so I'm gonna try not to look around too much. But we can lock onto the idiot and destroy his face. Seems like they actually improved on the combat a whole lot, dude. Like, seriously, the combat used to be a lot more sticky than that. You stupid slime, I will defeat you. Now, the biggest, most important thing that you end up running into is rolling around like an idiot, which I don't really know how to do right now. What? While an enemy is locked on, oh, there you go, they want us to evade. So you could kind of, like, one of the things that we're not really gonna run into right here is, as we end up facing ranged enemies, that was actually always a real big problem in previous versions, because that was single-handedly why the warrior was not actually a viable character, was because ranged characters would kick your butt. You would actually not be able to hurt ranged enemies. So thankfully they have changed that. That was a very, very early change that they ended up doing. Oh, where you would actually be able to, like, the ranged enemies actually come down to fight your face. Man alive, are you sure we're not on hard mode right now? Because these enemies are just, jeez. Collect 2 shards, we've got 1 of 2, so they want us to also mine a bunch of stone, and then craft a pickaxe. So we're gonna kind of mess around in this starting area. Mining with the pickaxe is much faster. I know about that. Okay, so what they want us to do is craft ourselves a pickaxe, so we'll get into all this other crafting stuff in a little bit here, but the stone pickaxe requires stone and wood. So how do we end up getting that? Well, I'll tell you, wise guy. We just attack the tree with our sword like an idiot. There, we've got our wood, and then if I end up aiming straight up here, we can use our sword to chop this stuff up. And we are wasting durability on our weapon like a crazy person. Like, seriously, we're wasting so much material, so much of our durability. One of the things that this game ends up doing is a little bit later on, you end up kind of crafting. Actually, I think it's right there, a sharpening stone, and you kind of end up getting more and more upgraded tiers of each of these items, right? Ooh, that's actually a nice handy little indicator. So just to kind of briefly explain this, sharpening stones are going to end up repairing any of your weapon durability, or just durability in general, I guess. But the thing is that right now we just use basic stone as the material, right? But as we end up getting higher and higher tiers, that's going to end up changing to cobalt, and obsidian ends up being like sharpening stone and stuff like that. And that's kind of how you can approach the entire game. Is the entirety of the game is going to end up. Did it throw it on our hotbar? Yeah, it actually did. So the entirety of the game is going to end up kind of eventually getting to the point where you just have higher quality resources and you're still doing the exact same thing that we're doing right now, except we would be mining like stronger materials, right? So the game does a fantastic job with that pacing and actually having the player kind of bumping up in the tiers over and over and over again, so on and so forth, until eventually we've got god weapons that take a million zillion years for us to actually end up repairing, right? So over here they're gonna tell us about repairing stuff and crafting. So get rid of the crates and collect the loot from the crates. Here we go. Let's get rid of these bad boys because we need to get all of the wood that's hanging out inside them. Place 5 refined pieces of wood to start building. And of course, you know, the game operates very, very well with a controller like we're doing right now, but very, very well with a mouse and keyboard. That's I'm pretty sure that's how I ended up playing this game the first time. And one of the things that this game does that I absolutely love that it does over other voxel games, you can build straight up like a freak. So we don't have to actually complete this house. Honestly speaking, I would recommend demolishing it so that you can end up getting all of these items, right? Repair the workbench by crafting its upgrade. Okay, I'm down for that. Where's the workbench? There, we need some extra wood. Okay, I'm down for that. Let us use our pickaxe because that should be better for chopping down trees. And then we can craft our workbench. Storing backpack, whoops, wrong thing. Just kind of taking a little bit here to get used to the controls. Also, you can see very similar to Minecraft and stuff, this is an emerald tree seed that we ended up getting from the other tree that we chopped down. So that's pretty much like a sapling. You throw it on the ground in some dirt, and then eventually after a while it ends up kind of growing into a full tree, right? So craft a squire waistcoat and equip your new squire waistcoat. So again, in terms of all of the material and stuff like that, this is where it all starts having its bigger part to play. So you're gonna have 50,000 different crafting tables that are going to all have different functions, but most importantly of all, they have specific functions. So it's like with this one, decoration blocks and furniture. This is going to have everything to do with being an archer character. This is metal items, and generally speaking is going to be stuff that you're going to use as a warrior. The chest itself is self-explanatory. This is for smelting ore. Oh, excuse me, water went down the wrong tube. An altar is for magic weapons and stuff like that. Ward of Protection, what is this? I don't know what this is. Activate it with portal stones of the correct color. The activated ward prevents enemies from respawning in an area in the surrounding. Wow! Okay, I guess I couldn't figure out how to do it otherwise. So, in older versions of the game, I ended up building this big elaborate house and the enemies would always just spawn on top of it. This takes care of that. So that's pretty cool that they ended up actually coming up with a solution. Now this is where you deal with the portal stones. You kill enemies of varying difficulty, and then they're going to end up dropping different tiers of each of these ores. And again, you can kind of see this is kind of what I mean, where the game generally is going to get harder the further you go, because whereas with the blue portal stone we only need 2 fragments, we need 3 of the yellow, which means we need to kill stronger enemies and more of them. Then we need 4 of the green, and finally we need 5 of the red, meaning that when you get to the end game, these enemies that are super duper powerful, you're gonna have to kill 5 zillion of them just to get the red portals in order to actually advance. So the game does a really fantastic job scaling to that effect, as I continuously keep mentioning. So then we've got just basic ingredients and stuff. Of course, these are going to end up changing as you go to different crafting tables. We can make the refined wood and stuff like that. You're going to end up getting access to more tools and pickaxes and stuff like that as you end up getting more and more materials further down the line. So we can end up making a wooden sword right now, but we've already got that. You can craft the other weapons, so it kind of serves as a nice way that you can play this with your friends and kind of just play the classes that you want and kind of craft all the things that you want. Honestly speaking, if you're playing this at home, folks, I wouldn't recommend that 2 of you end up choosing the same class, because then I feel like you're going to be missing out, because you're going to be crafting twice the amount of warrior gear. While there is, you know, there is differences in the gear. You can build your character to being like, you know, I forget what it is, but they have like a crit build as opposed to a character that's going to end up doing more damage with like two-handed weapon or something like that, right? Because they do actually have quite a few different styles of weaponry. So they want us to actually make the cotton, which we don't have any of the cotton, which we have to, where is it? We have to chop these stupid bad boys down right here and destroy the dumb cotton plants to get as much of it as we can. And then we're going to be able to craft ourselves the goodums that we need, right? I think there's also farming as well. Don't quote me on that one, though, folks. It wasn't in the version of the game that I played a million years ago. I don't know whether or not we actually need this crafting bench in order to actually forge all this stuff, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So can we actually make that Squire waistcoat? Send to the backpack. Yes, now we can. So let's craft this one right here. Bloop! And then I guess we could craft ourselves some pants. That's always a good thing, right? And then again, each of these are going to have different varying levels of equipment that they're going to end up costing, or items, I mean. But then also you can find recipes further along in the game as well that are going to end up giving you more recipes, whether it be crafting materials or special like legendary set gear and stuff like that. Really, really cool. You know, this game definitely has a lot of depth to it. I might actually consider replaying through this game again, because this is great. The game itself kind of plays a little bit slower than you would think, but hey, it works. Repair the workbench by crafting its upgrade. Excuse me? I already did craft its upgrade. What are they talking about? Okay, I see. So that's interesting. I wasn't actually supposed to craft a separate workbench. I was supposed to just go right into this one and upgrade the workbench. Now, I don't remember if that was a thing in the game. But if that is the case, that's actually really well designed, because it means that rather than, say you have a furnace and you need a better one. Bad example, because I don't think the furnace is upgrade, right? But I guess that means you're not going to have to destroy a furnace to replace it with the better one. You can actually just upgrade the crafting table, right? Craft 2 blue portal stones. I thought I already did that. Didn't I? Don't I already have 2 of them? And then, yeah, here would be upgrading the crafting bench. Okay, so maybe that was always a thing. Maybe I'm crazy. It's been like a year or something like that since I ended up playing this game, because it's been in early access for a very, very long time, dude. Okay, so what do they want us to do? Craft 2 blue portal stones, which means I'm gonna have to wander down here and kill some of these guys. Die, you stupid slime. Get out of my face. You kind of gotta watch out for the lock-on combat as well, because, oh man, you can really end up getting overwhelmed later in the game for sure. Like, you can really end up having a lot of trouble to deal with if you have 5 zillion enemies approaching you, especially if you're not a character that is going to have that much crowd control. You do end up getting different abilities as far as I remember, you know, so the warrior, of course, is going to end up having his own different unique spells and stuff like that, but the spell system itself is... well, it's a bit strange and a bit different, but we'll kind of stay on point today and just kind of get into it. So we're also gaining experience points as well, of course, and then getting weird coins in the top right, which I guess must be going towards a merchant or something like that. But honestly speaking, I don't remember those guys. Like, I don't remember seeing no merchants. Okay, so they want us to go into the next portal and go into the next world, which we will actually do that just so. Where is it? Is that it over there? Yes, it most definitely is. There still is no sprint in this game, though, despite the fact that it does have this bigger worlds for us to explore. I would wonder, like, is there mounts? Because that would be interesting if they had that. Place 4 blue portal stones in the empty slots. I don't have 4 of them, though. Why do we not have 4 of them? Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna have to kill a bunch of enemies, I guess, so that we can end up getting more. This is a good opportunity to show our potions down on our hotbar at the bottom. They do actually have a cooldown. Now, the game also does have quite a few options in terms of the graphical settings, and one of them, like if you notice right here, we've got the ground completely covered with stuff. Later on, it can end up being very detrimental seeing all of that stuff all over the ground, right? So one of the things that I discovered very early on is if we turn off scattered objects, now we can actually very easily see that this is the wheat that you can farm, all the plants and stuff like that, and furthermore the ore that you can end up running into as well. Personally speaking, you know, the grass itself is really cool and all, but I actually like simplistic graphics, you know, kind of making it beautiful through simplicity, right? So, for example, right now, I actually like this a lot more. Generally speaking, I just can see a lot better as well. And then you did also notice in our graphical settings that we do have the option to change our field of view as well. So anyways, let's go craft some of these right here. I like how you can just craft them all right away. You don't have to actually worry about waiting on like a cooldown or anything. So this is kind of how the portals end up working, right? You quite simply fill in the blanks, and then bada bing, bada boom, we've activated the portal exit, and now we can just literally step through here. You can either stay or depart. Of course, we're going to depart, and now we're going to be going to the next world. Now, that's the other thing too, is despite the fact that my computer is very powerful, the fact that I am generating bigger worlds does mean longer loading times, so keep that in mind if you end up having that choice, folks. Then anyways, you can see right over here, we've got our first set of ore. So we're going to try and, can we mine this? Just barely. The flame ruby. See, that's the thing that's pretty cool about this game, is later on you kind of start getting to know all of the different ores and stuff like that. Any rubies or gemstones and stuff like that usually only ends up working with magic characters. Ooh, the water. That's new to me as well. Can we swim? No, we just drown. Okay, that's actually pretty cool that they have that. At nighttime, too, things do become a lot more deadly. We got these nighttime creatures huddling all around us, and, well, I mean, sorry that we can't end up seeing this area in the day. I still wish that there was a way that we can end up turning it to the day a little bit easier, but that's okay, because I think that's pretty much all that we need to actually see for today, everybody. I am, however, going to put those scattered objects on just so we can kind of take a look at what the desert is supposed to look like. So you can see over here, it's a lot more subtle. It's not really that big of a crazy deal, but there are different biomes, and some of them get really, really trippy, kind of like outer space and, mushroom farms and stuff like that, and actually like medieval floating islands full of crystal mines and stuff like that. It's really, really cool the amount of generation that they actually have in this game. And again, you can actually end up getting to pets and stuff like that a little bit later on. I don't know whether or not they're just for vanity, just for looks, or if they end up actually having functionality to them, because again, I never ended up playing with the pets or anything like that. Last time I played, there was only like the Easter set gear, and that was a long, long time ago. In any case, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Links are going to be in the description for everything about this game, and just for kicks, I'm going to link to my first playthrough of this game back on the older original version, right? So thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciated. Do not forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content as well. Sign on and stay epic, everybody.